I can have anything that I want. My life is like a movie. I paint pigs with these songs. Now we making history. The Lambo, not no Cherokee. We making moves. We overseas. I'm on top. You is under me. Yeah. I be making moves. Yeah, I be making.
And now introducing your Milwaukee Bucks. At small forward, at 6'6", number 26, Kyle Korver. Starting in center, 7 feet, number 11, Brook Lopez. At shooting guard, standing 6'8", number 22, Chris Middleton. The other guard, 6 feet 1 inches, number 6, Eric Bledsoe. 6'4" from Greece, number 34, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Get ready, win.
The head coach of Go Home Team is Mike Budenholzer.
Come on.
Once again, your Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, come on.
Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Along with Steve Smith and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And our friend on the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who we'll be hearing from shortly. Here are the starters for Los Angeles. The perimeter filled up by Leonard and George. Harrell is out there with Ivica Zubac. And it's Beverly in at the point. And for the Bucks, Bledsoe and Middleton, the tandem in the backcourt. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. And it's Korver in at the small forward position. Early on, Brent, what are some of the intangibles you look for in a team that may be taking the next step?
Here we go. First of all, is the player who's returning that's shouldering most of the responsibility, is he any better than last season, Kevin? Has there been some growth in his game? Secondarily,
the great ones always grow.
They always do, and they're really sharp usually coming out of summertime, and they're ready to go. Second thing is, has the roster been tinkered with a little bit or tweaked a little bit to enhance what it is that the skill set of the star player is going to provide for their team throughout the next 8 months of the season?
And he's not going to miss many of those, especially that wide open.
No, he's automatic from the mid-range, and the defense knows that. It's a mistake to give up a shot like that.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Zubac.
And for Bledsoe, that is a good thing, as he is best as a complementary player. Not scoring as much, but his decision-making and shot selection have vastly improved.
George Hill's checked in for Chris Middleton. The free throw drops for Eric Bledsoe. And Brent, when you watch Eric Bledsoe go to the rim, you just have to admire what an incredible finisher he is.
Well, Bledsoe, I think, has always relied on the fact that his physical stature, not in terms of his height at 6'1", but his width and strength allows him to go in there and be a bit of a bulldog, to get contact and to make things happen. So never has shied away from that.
And here's Beverly. He picked up 15 points in their last win against the Warriors in San Francisco. Outside Leonard.
Right here.
Over Hill. Accurate with a jumper from the elbow. 6 to shoot. The tray. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Bledsoe's got 5.
All right, Bledsoe showing you a little bit of his range.
George with the ball. Now defended by Korver. Bucket is good. 3 on 3. There's the lob at Antetokounmpo. And it's out of bounds. And they say it was last touched by Leonard.
And let's see some of the numbers here for Paul George. He's coming off an excellent season. First in steals, and of course, one of the game's truly elite scorers with the second most points per game in the league.
And as you said, first in steals last season, you have to say he's the best ball hawk in the league right now. It may not even be close. Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, one player sometimes can drag down your offense, and He seems to be an anchor here in this quarter.
And a bit of a battle here for the ball. The official signals a jump ball here. Giannis Antetokounmpo grabs the miss. And it's Milwaukee's ball. They trail by 1. Their last meeting was in this building where they were able to come out on top.
Not a close contest either. The last time they got together, everyone in the rotation played solid, and the bench was the difference.
Well, the second unit came in last game and just played lights-out basketball. I'm sure they'd like to do that again.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Lopez.
Don't forget the clock.
That one doesn't drop. Clippers leading by 4 to the middle. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Yeah, you don't see many of these opportunities for this team, but Kawhi, one guy who can get up there and get it done.
You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
Come on.
Matthews, no good.
Well, he definitely forced that shot, guys. He had plenty of time to adjust himself and kick the ball out and look for a better shot. Have to give credit to the defense there, too.
Moment here now for an injury report. Let's check in with David Aldridge for an injury update on Chris Middleton. David?
Well, guys, I was able to catch up with the Bucks head athletic trainer. He's got an injury to his elbow, specifically his elbow joint, and it looks like it's a pinched nerve. And, of course, that would be a brutal loss for this team if he misses any time as they're getting ready for the end of the season. Kevin?
Good information, David. He's certainly been on our minds. Now, at least, Greg, we have a little more clarity.
Yeah, now they have the information they need to take the best. This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Here's Giannis, and the dunk by Giannis.
As Giannis has grown in his physical stature, widening those shoulders, having more strength, these are the kind of plays that make all that hard work pay off.
There's 47 seconds left in the first. Jackson finds Morris. Over in the corner, Green buries the long-range jumper.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic.
Well, Lou Williams won Sixth Man of the Year for the third time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company. The Bucks have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there. And guys, this is the way to stay in the game. They're doing a masterful job from the line. Perfect this quarter.
Eric Bledsoe's checked in for Milwaukee. Joakim Noah's checked in for the Clippers. That one falls, so he hits both of them.
It's very efficient and a well-tuned offense for the Bucks. They drive, they kick, they get open threes. Second in the league last year, as that was Mike Budenholzer's biggest change in threes.
Now here's Noah. Morris outside, 5 on the clock.
Get it!
The shot, no good. And Milwaukee will come the other way. And with the Bucks in their offense, Brent, it all starts with Giannis.
Starts with Giannis, and that might have got them into trouble last year. They could maybe use another creator in a way where a guy can manufacture his own points. Who knows? Maybe that's growth within. Maybe that's Chris Middleton as he tries to improve his game, or Eric Bledsoe in some way. But the team does need a little bit more dynamism on the offensive end.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I don't think you're stopping Giannis on a drive like that. He just takes off and one stride gets by everybody.
It's Jackson with the drive. It's good. Jackson's got his second basket of the night.
Always fun to look at. Not tremendously efficient, but the floater, boy, those sure are pretty.
Lopez kicks to Giannis. They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Green. Inside, here's Morris, and Morris throws it down.
And you want more of this from Jackson. The more unselfish he is, the better the team.
Giannis outside. And the pass to Korver. Over Morris. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Korver.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. And it's George missing.
Well, that mid-range, Jay, usually pretty much on the money. Maybe the timing just a little bit off on that one.
Bledsoe passes to Matthews. And again, Milwaukee with the triple.
And he is not shy about pulling the trigger from downtown. Matthews has the eye and the confidence from three-point range that you just love to see.
Now here's Beverly. Passes it to Leonard. And the shot goes in. Leonard's got 8.
I do so enjoy watching a bounce pass executed that perfectly.
Bucks trail by 7. And Brent, as you know, there aren't many players that can set a tone for a team, but Patrick Beverly is one of them.
And Patrick Beverly always embraces that role about setting the tone defensively on an opposing team's point guard, making sure that tonight, if you're going to beat the team that Pat Beverly plays on, you're going to have to go through them.
And here's George. Following the three-pointer by Chris Middleton. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, defender just a little too late in reacting. Gets a piece of Paul George, but a piece, that's not enough.
Bledsoe kicks to Williams. Noah with the block. George passes to Leonard. Over Matthews. Leonard, no luck. The Bucks have gotten all but one of their 7 shots in the second quarter to drop. Pretty impressive. Yep, it goes, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 4 points with a bucket from Eric Bledsoe. Now here's Beverly. Here's George, and he drops in the layup off the glass. George has got 4 points now in the quarter.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Seems to be nobody standing in his way, no roadblocks for him to get to his spot, capitalize, and continue to be aggressive.
You know, Brett, we know guys love really jawing at each other. What was your criteria for issuing a double technical for trash talk?
Yeah, in today's game, it's kind of like it could be a whisper
Right.
or a wink, you know, the way that they look at it.
It's both sides, doesn't it?
And they just try to curtail anything that could escalate, Kevin. That's really what the referees are doing. As soon as they see some kind of body movement or see guys starting that way, they want to cut it off before anything else happens. So the criteria is a little bit confusing. Sometimes I like to see them getting after a little bit.
Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut to just 1 on the basket from Antetokounmpo. And so Beverly will bring it up for the Clippers. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Now here's Leonard. 23 points for him the last game against Golden State.
Yeah, but all around offensively, the performance was great. He knew when he had it going, but he also knew he could get other guys going. So his passing right up there on the level with his scoring in that one.
Get it going.
And 101 left to play here in the half. Shoots from the line. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Giannis has got his 6th rebound on the night. He kicks it to Lopez. Williams trying to break free. Count it. And now a 3-point Bucks lead.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Really left alone that time. Leonard's got 4 this quarter.
So money on the catch and shoot. I don't know what the defense is doing there, giving Kawhi that shot.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. There's the foul against the Clippers. For Milwaukee, they have shot the ball well from the free throw line, 8 of 9.
At the line for 2.
2.
That's good from Antetokounmpo.
And if they stay this hot from the line, there's a good chance they'll hang on to that lead. They're at about 90% for the game.
For the second half of basketball. So for the Clippers right now, the perimeter filled up by Leonard and George. Ivica Zubac is out there with Harrell, and it's Beverly in at point. Here's Harrell, cans the 12-footer.
He's going to keep coming and coming. Montrezl Harrell, relentless. Think about Montrezl Harrell and the type of energy and effort that he brought last year to this team to help solidify, I guess, most of the culture piece of what Steve Ballmer wants this franchise to be about. That's playing hard, playing with energy, and having some enthusiasm for the competition. Montrezl Harrell wraps all those things up pretty nicely in the way he plays.
For Los Angeles, they have made their only other free throw attempt today in an earlier trip to the line.
And look back a season ago, they did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Both shots good from the stripe. And Montrezl Harrell, Brent, beloved in the locker room.
Well, he's beloved because every night when you go out on the floor with him, you know what you're going to get. A guy who is incredibly competitive, passionate, knows his role, and plays with a...
And, folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And I think when it comes to some of the more difficult calls to make, personal fouls can be tough. The action is so fast that it's really tough to catch everything in real time.
The wonders of technology, Greg. We've seen replay reviews so effectively, and involving the coaches by being able now to challenge like this is something a lot of people have been hoping for. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
That's a nice toss up there, so you got to like the timing. But, of course, that's Giannis. He's going to grab anything.
Count the bucket, and he's got a free throw coming up as well. That'll put Montrezl Harrell on the line. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Clippers shooting their fourth shot at the foul line here. Back to George. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. High post try. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. George has got 13.
And how about that? Coming out to start the half, a perfect 3 of 3.
Bledsoe outside. On the wing, Giannis. And Giannis throws it down hard.
I think Giannis loves that kind of stuff right there. His dunks sometimes get vicious.
Here's Harrell. Up and in on the layup. Harrell's got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, I'm not sure what the coach said at halftime, but whatever it did, it's lit a fire. They're now 4 of 4 from the field to start their offense here in the second half.
The wide open look here for Lopez. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in. Bledsoe's got 6 assists in the game. Pass to Leonard. Kicks to George. Earl high post. Back to George. And it's George finishing it off.
Well, Paul George taking initiative tonight and going right at the defense.
The Bucks have gone 4 of 6 from the field since the start of the third. Bledsoe finds Giannis. And the rejection by Harrell. Here's George. And it's Paul George with the finish.
Well, not only looking at Paul George get up, look at the guys on the bench loving it from PG.
And there's the feed to Bledsoe. And Bledsoe with the stuff.
And sometimes as a point guard, you gotta take things into your own hands.
Yeah, right. It's okay to be selfish when you have a chance like that. Outside Korver with a floater. And the rejection by Zubac.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
What awareness there from Kawhi, waiting for his teammate to break free and then finds him.
Hill against Jackson. Pass to DiVincenzo. Offensive rebound. He's off on that one. Clippers leading by 5. Leonard inside. Gets that one through the hole. Make him now 7 of 13 in this game.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
The putback.
I mean, just look at the box score right now. He's not only filling it up with these points, but in every facet of the game.
Hill against Jackson. There's the pass to Harrell. Leonard draws the double. Again, the Clippers. Pass to Shamet. Lets it go from deep. That's good, and it's Jackson. And the dunk by Jackson.
And if you want to talk about liftoff, folks, he went right from the launching pad. Serious extended hang time there. Even at full speed, it looked like he was in slow motion. Just amazing.
Hill against Jackson. Williams with a clean look. Green with the rebound.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
And Jackson throws it down hard.
Thanks, Kevin. Mike Budenholzer had some words for his team during the break. His concern was both their inconsistency and their amount of three-point shots. He said, let's move the ball for good shots. If you have an open three, take it. Otherwise, let's attack the rim and put some...
To have access to those players. Now, every player doesn't want to talk or get into certain things, but their availability should be made, and people should have access to them. Look, I don't want to take out the trash every Tuesday, but I understand I got to do it at home, and so players have a responsibility to their franchise to be a voice at times.
I always thought you were terrific with the media.
Well, I appreciate that, Kevin. Maybe that's how I got this job.
Beverly with the ball. Now guarded by Bledsoe. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Middleton against Beverly. Here's Lopez. And the dunk by Lopez.
They're definitely within striking distance.
Loads it up there for Harrell.
Now, with Leonard on the floor, the team's always going to function a little bit better as a whole, and some of that comes from his unselfish play.
Right side, Antetokounmpo, and they double up Giannis. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And here is Los Angeles now. Los Angeles leading by 7. Stolen by Bledsoe. And now in transition is Bledsoe. Here we go. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him.
One shot.
Eric Bledsoe stepping up and getting it done.
Hey, G, here, when you open, shoot it, okay? When you open, shoot it. Never hesitate.
And Bledsoe no good on that one.
Eric Bledsoe bounced around a little bit in the early part of his career under the tutelage of Chris Paul when he first came into the league. It seems like he's found a home here and very much settling into his role.
And Giannis throws it down.
Big-time shot from young Giannis there. He feels more and more comfortable in these big moments.
Beverly against Bledsoe. 54 seconds left in the game. 6 on the shot clock. From deep. The shot, no good. Now the Bucks take it the other way. And the dunk by Giannis.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is a star in this league, and more the team trusts him in those moments.
Guys, they're not going to be in any rush on this possession.
Not with the lead. Now's the time to burn some clock.
To the inside. And it's Harrell missing. And so Antetokounmpo will bring it up for the Bucks. It's a 3-point game. There's 14 seconds left here in the fourth quarter to tie it up. He's off from 3. And they commit an intentional foul.
You think about how quickly it was that Kawhi Leonard just rocketed into superstardom. And as a leader of a very proud franchise, if you're a coach, he's everything you'd maybe want in a player.
That's good. Going 1 of 2 from the line, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. Timeout called the Bucks.
Hey, if we lose, we do chop.
They're down by 4. 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 5 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Antetokounmpo. Count it!
That's his first personal foul, third team foul. Shooting from Los Angeles, Patrick Beverly. Taking 2 shots.
He gets the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. What's your take, guys?
And a little late to implement a plan B. This game is a wrap.
Well, I'm going to use the cliche here. You can't take your timeouts with you, so they're going to use it.
And did they really just pull that off?
I think they did, Greg. Astounding play. So it's the Clippers taking the win in a close one. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Brett Barry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
State to state, yeah, going back to bank, yeah. So check the ranks, yeah. I'll bet you out of place, yeah. I don't play like Sony. I got scars like Tony. Pull away into a horse, no pony. These niggas cap, these niggas phony. I am a winner, so where's my trophy? Niggas beginners.